Every day, the future's getting closer.
Welcome to Master the NEC, where we talk about the National Electrical Code and all things electrically related. My name is Paul Abernathy, your host, and welcome to today's podcast. Well, hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of Master the NEC, where we talk about the National Electrical Code and all things electrically related. My name is Paul Abernathy, your host as always. Welcome to the podcast. Well, today's podcast, we're going to do episode 1 of the estimating series, where we talk about estimating and marketing and all those good things to kind of help. Look, we talk a lot of code, and that is what my thing is, right? Code. We're still going to do all that too, but I feel like there's a lot of electrical contractors, big and small, that want to understand some of the basic guerrilla marketing or regular marketing techniques, or they want to have access to that information. They want to learn a little bit more about estimating, because again, it's not always about doing something as simple as a square foot method or a per device method. You want to steer away from the possible pitfalls of that. But we want to go over and try to give you some extra value for your electrical contracting business to help you get more business and help you get a stronger business. And that way you can hire more people, or maybe it just makes your business more comfortable. Maybe you're a one-man shop or a two-man shop, and that's perfectly fine for you. But there's always something we can learn when it comes to estimating, best approaches. So we'll talk about things like a specification review prior to doing an estimate. We'll look at different concepts of when you're looking at feeders, branch circuits, lighting. We'll do something called an average versus scaling. When you're doing an estimate, which is better to do whether or not it's just a pure averaging of something, or you're actually going to sit down and scale it. We'll talk about all those things in upcoming episodes, change orders, RFIs, how to do a proper submittal, proposals, how to track your submittal. But one of the important things that we run into very first, question I usually get about estimating, and I by no means am an overall expert when it comes to this concept, and I don't believe anybody is. There is one gentleman who will be hopefully a guest on upcoming shows, so I need you to, if you're all a code, but you really want to learn about the estimating and how it can benefit your business, you really want to bookmark us here or come back, because in future episodes, because we're going to hopefully be able to bring in some real experts on this. I'm a business owner like you, and these are things that I've compiled over the years and I want to share. And we'll also be putting these in our message board forum, all the tips and things that we talk about as well. So we are expanding rapidly with the different offerings and training and classes and online classes and one-on-one stuff for estimating, for our software that we're partnering with, the CAD software that we're introducing to everybody. And it's just a lot of stuff happening. But again, you have to think about your business. You have to think about how you're going to grow your business. So today's episode, we're going to talk about one of the topics in estimating that I get a lot, and we might talk about this more in other episodes, but this is finding the work. I mean, it's okay to learn how to bid. It's okay to get estimating software. But in your mind, you're thinking, how do I get the work? How do I get the bids? Now, if you're a contractor and you're looking to start getting into some bigger work, obviously if it's your primary gig, you want to make a living at it. And so in order to be able to do that, you got to know where to find the work so that you can bid on it. Now, it's all over the place. That you can find it. Thankfully, the internet has made it available. And of course, we'll talk about how to approach some, in our marketing series, where we'll talk about some approaches to get to some of the low-cost methods to get the ability to get some bids out there. But you got to be aggressive. It's all about the timing. Obviously, the estimating software that we recommend is Best Bid Hybrid Pro. It allows you to really quickly get that bid out there. Remember, estimates are what they are. So they are estimates, but it gives you a good idea of going in, your level of comfort with putting that bid out. And customization is always the beautiful thing, and that's what I like about that software. And we'll talk about that in other videos and podcasts on that. But today we're talking about concepts of finding the work. We want to find the work out there that we can actually bid. And every market is a little more stable than others. I'm in the Dallas Metroplex area, North Dallas. It's a booming environment. And so if you're a company that has the scalability to actually go after that work, then you need to know how to find that work. And luckily for us, there is many avenues that we can use for that. Okay, so let's kind of look at some of that. All right, the first thing I like to say is that, you know what, we can think about organic leads where you get them for free. They find your ad, but you're advertising somewhere, whether you're doing yellow page ads, whether you're doing ads on some kind of magazine or book or local publication or newspaper, you're paying for that. Now, the majority of them that can come in from that can take your per lead cost and drop it down, because if I run one ad, let's say in a paper or something, then, you know, the more leads that I get from that really brings down that overall cost divided into the cost. But there's other avenues that I want to go after, that I want to be aggressive, and got to realize that, you know what, you're in business. There are some shoestring budget things that we'll talk about in our marketing shoestring budget course or online video or podcast series. But we're talking about, you need to get the business. You're trying to get the bids. You're being aggressive. And so there's things to look at. So the first thing is, you know what, you can always go after construction leads. There are companies out there that actually do that, and it's pretty easy to do since we do have the internet now. A quick Google search, for example, you could type in construction bid lead services, and you'd be surprised what you'll get, okay? That is the thing that you'll get from that search. Right? You'll get a bunch of stuff. For example, I'll do a search, and I'll tell you what comes up. Okay, the very first one that I come up with in my leads, when I do that search, is, I use that same words, is a paid ad, because so they're aggressive, and that is the Dallas construction leads. I'm in Dallas, so again, I'm just searching my area. It has 1,662 projects to bid on. Okay, they're early stage projects, so that you're at the bid stage, but that's not the only one. Okay, if you go down the list, there's free construction bids, 2 to 6 week lead time. There's other sites on here that allow you to do construction, like Bid Clerk. There's a ton of them. Okay, now here's one that says free bid leads on construction government bids. So there's it's endless. Okay, you just have to do the search. Okay, and it usually will pull up in your area. Now, if I click the one, again, I know that it's a paid ad. That's okay, because they're paying to be seen. They're aggressive. I don't know what the cost will be, and you don't know. Okay, but I can click on that, and it takes me to a website, and I can put in some information, and they'll send me a demo of it, and I'll get something. In fact, they say get 3 free construction leads. Well, be honest with you, if I'm a contractor and I can get 3 free construction leads and I bid on them, that gets me into the bidding process, and I win those, then, that gives you kind of an idea of how it's going to function. But let's go backwards and look and say, okay, well, I want to go to, let's say, what if I'm looking for free leads? Well, Dun & Bradstreet, for example. If I sign up for it, I get 200 free customized leads. Okay, so it's nothing generally is going to be free, but if you search for it, you can accumulate certain information that might get you some free leads. They're out there. Okay, if you go further down in your list, because of course the further you go down, then you can actually go through and you can be very specific about the leads. Okay, now caution: if you're not familiar with the particular service, you don't know how they do it, you don't know what the charges are going to be, look, make sure you ask for this magic word: I want a trial before you buy. Okay, these services want to bring you on board, but again, you're looking for leads. Okay, now this is the paid approach. Okay, there is free organic concepts that we'll talk about in other marketing and things like that, which are still equivalent to getting leads. But here you're going for the big bite off of the pie, right? You're going for this. So this is lead services, and if you go there, there's tons of them. Now you can get a bunch of free trials. Each one of these will, if you ask for them, they'll get you. Okay. Again, the other thing that you want to make sure with all these trials is you want to ask for references from other customers, and you don't want to be lazy. Again, you're trying to grow your business. You're trying to get the leads. You're not going to get any work. Okay, unless you go after it for these nice medium and big size projects, if that's where you're trying to grow your company to. And you're not going to stick your toe in the water unless you put yourself out there. So again, if you've got zero money, then you're going to have to listen to our marketing on the shoestring budget type of program. And we talked you through all these different avenues that you can get some free marketing that works, because I've used it. But if you're really going after the big pie and you're growing your company, then this is some of the avenues you need to do. Again, you got to pay to play. But again, you can get your foot into the water by the free trials and some of the free bids. But you got to make sure you ask for that. And look, don't leave a stone unturned. And what I mean by that is, don't be afraid to ask for it and get it in writing. Okay? Say, look, can you give me an email on this? Can you put this in writing? You know, this deal you're giving me, this trial you're giving me. Don't be afraid to do it. Okay? Now, in addition, when you're asking for references, because I want to call up people that are using that service, and I don't want to call. I want to tell them right up front. I says, look, I don't want your planted references. I want people that are going to be honest. And now, again, whatever that's worth, you're going to get certain people, but I don't want the same planted references that they always get. Okay? Now, one thing to make it real clear too is that you can get really lost in these bid services. All right? So it might seem like it's intuitive that these services are actually providing jobs that pertain to electrical, but you really have to make sure you dig down deep and say, look, it needs to pertain to electrical division 16 or 26, or you need to ask the question to make sure that you know that what you're doing is focusing on electrical. Okay, because other than that, you'll get bids from all kinds of crap that does you no good unless you're in that other market. Okay. Now, when you're searching for bids, a good thing for me is when I do Google or something like that, obviously it's going to look for services that are going to be, pertain to my area, but you don't take that for granted. Okay. You need to make sure you're searching in your area. Okay. So before you even start your bid lead prospect in your area, you have to understand that some of these boards that you can go on, and we'll talk about the different boards. We'll go over that here also as well. You need to make sure that they sometimes will give national, regional, even state jobs. And you need to focus very specifically on what you're looking for. Okay? You need to be very targeted. If you don't have the resources to go after something, let's say I'm in Dallas and I want to go after something in Austin, you got to remember that's a couple hours away. That's, you don't know that you'll be bidding or working on something or getting excited about a prospect that is really outside of your area. And it's not something that you can budget in, because as we'll go over in estimating, there's so many pitfalls that you have to be aware of that we want to make sure that you don't fall into those. And so you need to learn to look at a specification. You need to dissect an estimate and be able to really work through those things. And again, you need to stay within your comfort zone. Okay. Now, typically, the more comprehensive the draw area on the board, wherever you go to or whatever trial you do, it is more expensive for like a subscription. Now, subscriptions are great. Okay, they're not bad at all if they're going to be allowing you access to your targeted local area. Then again, subscription is just the cost of doing business. And at that point, you might pay one subscription a month, but the leads for you are unlimited. And that's not a bad deal. Also, make sure that if you do a subscription, that you can cancel at any time, that they don't lock you in for 12 months or something like that. Okay, so that's the stuff you need to ask for. Okay, now, if you mainly work in a state, let's say you're working in Georgia, for instance, you want to subscribe to the service that includes only Georgia job leads. So really make sure you watch this kind of subscription program that you're connecting with. Really do your due diligence on there, okay? Why pay for some kind of subscription that's not going to bring you targeted leads in an area? So I see a lot of people that will simply jump into these services. They make them very affordable. Big job sites love to put their projects on these things because they get the most bids and they're looking for the best price. But the problem is, if you're getting a bunch of bids that are not in your area, that's a total waste of money. Now, if you happen to do work in multiple states and you have a expanded electrical contracting business, or let's say you partner with another electrical contractor in another state, and that's something we'll talk about in another episode, which is partnering. Like I might partner with an electrical contracting business in Virginia and I'm in Texas, and so I might say, look, let's break this up. Because of the subscription, let's join forces. I'll get a subscription, but I'll feed you the leads. That's something else to think about. All right, so that's, just kind of things that there's partnerships can work really well if you happen to have somebody that you can trust in that partnership, and you can split these things, and you just have to kind of be the go guy to do it and feed those leads. Okay, and you could even give them, y'all are either doing it 50-50s or however you want to pay for the subscription, whatever you want to do for that. Okay, but just keep that in mind. Now, you need to understand the fee structure, and it's not the same for all of them, but you need to be aware that construction bid services charge you a fee for subscription, which is typically based on an annual rate. Some companies that you're going to do this subscription, and they're all a little different, require payment for the entire year at the beginning of the subscription. So if you're doing a partnership program with somebody, then you say if it's $150 for a year or $500 for a year, you know what? It's small change depending on a couple projects you get. But then you could pay it and you can share this with your partner, and maybe you're the one that funnels those out. But it can be done. Now, others may charge you even a monthly fee. That's totally up to you how they do that. Again, you need to ask about trial subscriptions, okay? You need to make sure that you're going to get the right leads funneled to you, and the best way to do that is to do a trial, set it up, and see kind of what you get. That way you can tweak it before you buy it, that type of concept. Now, there is a lot of sites out there for you to get data information and find online bidding boards, okay? Now, and some of these are free, and some of those are going to cost you some money, and prices have changed, so I'm kind of going from some old information that, you might not have. Hopefully, I'll put some of these in the links when this finally gets sent over to our YouTube channel for you to listen, because most people listen to our podcasts and videos from our YouTube channel. But here, probably one of the most popular at the time is what's called Dodge Construction. So it's www.dodge.construction.com. And you can search the Dodge reports by geography, building type, project type. The formats range from a weekly publication to daily bulletins to a newspaper kind of rollout format. It's updated daily. The Dodge reports estimate that at any given time, it tracks almost 500,000 active projects. And I imagine by the time this was recently printed, that it's probably even more than that now. Okay. Now, the subscription plans generally begin for something as low as $39.99 a month for 25 leads. Hey, 25 leads is a great way to get started. It's probably more than you're going to be able to handle, but it's a great way to get started. Now, if you don't like the internet, that type of thing, you can also order it to be sent to you in print. But you know what? You might as well get into the 21st century here and realize that most things are done online. All right. But that's one approach. The other one is called Reed Construction Data, and it's exactly how it sounds, www.reedconstructiondata.com. They are very respected in the industry, especially for construction leads. Whether you're doing it online or through a weekly publication, the Reed Construction Data delivers a real comprehensive commercial construction project information. Very detailed, accurate, it's up to date. It has detailed information available on thousands of commercial and, check it out, civil construction projects nationwide. You just need to focus and bring it down. Depending on your business needs, there is a filter feature that you can do it to location, to keyword, to project category, even stage of construction, because maybe it's in the prelim stage and it's not to this electrical submission stage. You can see all that. In addition, once you find a project you'd like to bid on, you can also access the plans and specifications via their website. Isn't that amazing? Now, if you're using the Best Bid Hybrid Pro software, once you get those plans, you can incorporate it in and you can start doing a takeoff right away so that you're already ready for that submission. It's amazing. So that's good. You can also get reminders sent to you. You can get update notifications on the bid process and how it's going. So that is really neat. One of the other ones that you can do is called Build Central's Construction Wire and Bid Notice. And you go to constructionwire.com, exactly how it sounds, www.constructionwire.com. And that one is a pretty neat site as well. Now, that one really delivers very timely and accurate construction project information in an easy-to-view type of format. If you're not familiar, you're trying to break into this. Now, the Construction Wire, it's an online database of construction projects, mostly private and commercial. So that's a good thing because the private ones, again, are being sucked into this database that might not be in the others. But it's there. But it also covers it, usually by this stage, it's in the planning, the bidding, or even the pre-construction stages. So you get to see, you know what, you don't want to go after something that's in a stage that's not going to be beneficial to you to submit a bid. But you can get bid notices. They keep you up to date on the bid opportunities in your area. So it'll send you notices when somebody puts in a bid based on the criteria that you filter in. That's a neat thing because it kind of gives you that little ticker in your box to say, hey, a bid just came in. And if you have a bidding software like Best Bid Hybrid Pro, which makes it so easy because it's just click, 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 then you can get that bid out. And remember that a lot of these bids, local area, is going to be using things like national pricing models and things like that. So it's sometimes easier to even take the bid software right out of the box as long as you know how to work it and can get a good, accurate bid. Or again, you can tweak it. If you want to know how to do estimating software, again, we're going to do webinars and training on the Best Bid Pro. It's a Hybrid Pro software, which we feel is the best estimating and takeoff software in the industry. It's so customizable, easy to use, and that's the key. Some people spend $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $8,000 on estimating and takeoff software, only to find it put on the shelf and not use it because they go back to the old school takeoff method. Well, look, that's either hit or miss. With the Best Bid Hybrid Pro, I can promise you, once you put that in and you do it, you're going to use it. And it is fun to use. So hopefully you're interested in that. Visit our website. You can find out about purchasing it or watching some of our videos as we walk you through some of the easy steps. It is really simple program. All right, so Construction Wire, it's really daily. Now, you get to select your coverage area. That's the thing about it. They want to fine-tune it down so you can do it by state. And so you state, you have a multi-county, even multi-state area options, okay? Now, they also charge a monthly charge for one state, and that costs $49.95 a month. That can change at the time, but you can add additional states for $24.95 per month. So again, if I partnered with somebody and I said, you know what, I'm going to do Texas and I'm going to do Virginia, and let's go together. I'm going to do $49.95 per month. And I'm going to add the other for $24.95 a month. Tell you what, I'm going to make sure that I feed you all those leads, my partner, and we are going to split that cost. Okay? Now, it's an excellent regional source of leads for jobs up to and up and down the eastern seaboard for the United States, plus even Texas. So it's really, this one's really good if you're at Texas and you're trying to grow your business. And every company wants to grow your business. All right? But here is one that is primarily focused on the eastern seaboard and Texas specifically, and this is called cdcnews.com. Now, this covers both public and private sector construction with project descriptions. They got pre-bid meeting notifications, plan holder information, bid results, all that type of stuff is available from this one. So, www.cdcnews.com. It is a good resource for that as well. Public and private. So you don't want to leave the stones unturned here. Again, I could sign up for 3 or 4 of these subscriptions and I'm still not over $100 a month. And if you think about the potential, you're in business to, we spend a lot more than that on one meal. Okay. So think about it now. Got to put these things in perspective. You have to pay to play, but this is not that expensive when you think about the potential. And that's what you're doing. You're wanting to know, how do I do the estimating? How do I grow my business? Well, you got to be able to get out there. Now, the other advice I tell people is don't bite off more than you can chew. Okay, you want to be careful how you bid because you certainly don't want to bid on a project that is way outside of your league. Okay, so you got to customize it. All right. And again, if you're really a small contractor and you're trying to ease into this phase, no worries. We're going to have episodes that talk about the organic marketing and organic lead generation and things like that. But again, don't shy away, because all these projects, they're not all huge. They all range in scale. Okay. Now, the next one that you want to look at is called Bid Clerk. And that is BIDCLERK. Now, that's www.bidclerk.com. It's another national service company that allows you to view plans, specifications, the bid dates, the project start dates, depending on the location. There's no long-term commitment. You can cancel this one at any time. Short-term subscriptions are also available, although you really can save money by buying the annual. But again, you just need to look at the costs, and they change. But again, ask for a trial. Ask for something. Okay? Don't just go click, click, click. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone and give a call and say, look, I'd try you, but I'm not sure I'm ready to commit, and that type of thing. All right? Let's see here. You also get some deals sometimes. So many of the popular people are popular with the Blue Book for building and construction. That is the www.thebluebook.com. In fact, many of you have probably advertised in this publication at one point. Okay, it's kind of a twofold. First thing, you allow general contractors work in your area to find you if you publish in that, and it's not overly expensive. But if you advertise in the book, you will also provide with job leads in the area to which you advertise in. So they will actually bring you that on their board, and it's called BB Bid. So again, look at the prices there. Even if you're not interested in placing an ad in the book, at least you can sign up for free. Okay? So you definitely don't want to miss that free opportunity to go to thebluebook.com and take that opportunity to at least sign up. If you can afford to put an ad in there and they're going to target towards your area, then don't shy away from it. Only you know your budget, and we'll talk budgets in another episode. We're kind of just talking about where to generate leads in this show here. Now, what about government jobs? Don't shy away from them. If you're a small company, and maybe even you're minority owned or woman owned, or maybe even you're a veteran owned business, don't forget to check out the opportunities that the government can give you. I'm telling you, really. Many projects have portions of work that are set aside specifically for disadvantaged businesses. And you want to make sure you go check out those by state or by national. And that is going to www.setasidealert.com. Again, www.setasidealert.com. That's called Set Aside. It's designed for you minority-owned businesses, small businesses, women-owned businesses, even the veteran-owned businesses. This can be some avenues for you to get the work. So that's the thing that you want to really think about. Now, whatever path you choose ultimately to find those leads, remember, follow up. I don't know how many people submit a bid, and then when they submit that bid, they think that just all of a sudden it's supposed to drop out of the cloud. You have to follow up, okay? Remember, the squeaky wheel always gets the grease. You have to be diligent. A lot of people think, well, I just submitted my bid. My bid was good. They'll contact me. You have to stay on it. Don't let that company that you submitted that bid lose your understanding of the possibilities that you're interested in. Keep at it until you notice that project has been awarded. If you didn't get it, well, you can't say it for lack of trying. You need to pursue it constantly. All right? Now, that is pretty much, the thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually try to post some links to some of these that we're talking about here. There's other boards out there. Trust me. There's a board called www.jobstobid.com. That offers it in many states. There's, like I said, the constructionwire.com. There's Bid Clerk. All of those, reconstructiondata.com. All of those things. And I'll try to post most of that in the comments area, so that might help you out. Well, hopefully you got something out of that. That's just kind of a sample of how to get the work, and that is for large-scale work. In future episodes, we will do one for the medium, the small guy. How do I do that without going after such large jobs? But remember, there are all types of jobs on these boards, and you have to just search for them. So again, if you go to Google and you search for construction bid leads, you're going to be surprised. Don't be afraid to ask for trials. Don't be afraid to ask for references. Check those references. Call the people. Ask them how it did for them. Okay? Make sure you say something like, look, don't send me your fluffy references. I want real customers. Don't be afraid to call those three and then call back in a couple of days and say, I need some more estimates, or I need 3 references of your service. They go, well, we gave you 3. I said, yeah, you did. Well, I want 3 different ones. You got to be aggressive if you want to grow your business. Okay, nobody's going to come looking for you, I guess, of course, unless you put it in the blue book, and then maybe they will find you. But you've got to spend it. You've got to work for it. That's the only way you're going to grow your business. If you sit back thinking that they're going to come to you just because you hung your shingle out at your door, that's not going to happen. You have to stay aggressive in this industry. You got to stay hungry. Now, when you get so busy that you can't take on any work, then okay, you've established that. But at this point, we're going to assume you're always hungry. You always want the next job. Okay? So, until next time, folks, stay safe and God bless.
Every day, the future's getting closer. Every day, the future's looking bright. Every day is another